On a night where Josh Jung brought the fireworks, Jack Leiter is making me think, hmm, maybe the Rangers do have the best starting rotation in baseball.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked onto the Texas Rangers, the first and best daily Rangers podcast. I'm Bryce Patrick, a cripplingly addicted Texas Rangers fan, covering this team for 12 seasons, including all 7 as the founder and host of this podcast. Thank you all so much for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter at Bryce Patrick. You can follow the show at Locked On Rangers. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube, where the best way you can help grow the show is to comment nearly any single thing below. Now, on today's show, we're talking about Jack Leiter going off for his longest start of the season, why I think the Rangers have the best rotation in baseball, some bats stepping up, Corey Seager back on the IL, some other near returns to the Rangers lineup, and unfortunately, another day where a Rangers reliever leaves the game early, and this one might be a doozy. But let's start with the positive news. The Rangers won yet again, a 4-game winning streak, 2 straight series wins in a row, and the Rangers might just have the best rotation in all of baseball. And now, I know this wasn't the most dominant start in the world for Jack Leiter, but it was his first quality start as a big leaguer. He only allowed 1 run, only allowed a couple of hits, only allowed 3 walks to 5 strikeouts. Honestly, should have been fewer than those 3 walks, but still a quality outing for Jack Leiter. Lowest his season ERA to 4.34. And as the Rangers' number 5 starter, with a 4.34 ERA, his FIP is a lot better. He's not allowing very many home runs or hits at all at 3.97 FIP. His ERA plus is just 12% below league average. I think a couple of those starts really, the defense could have helped him out a little bit more. He could have helped himself out a little bit more in those first 2 starts back off the IL, one in San Francisco and one we saw it could have gone a lot differently in Boston. But still, if this is your 5th best starter, you have a very good rotation, especially when the top 3 are pitching out of their freaking minds. And the worst of those top 3, your 3rd best starter right now is Jacob deGrom, who, when he is on his game, is the best pitcher on earth, bar none. That is a phenomenal place to have your rotation. Heck, what they're getting out of Patrick Corbin has been fantastic. His ERA plus is 23% better than league average. And with a good start tonight against the Rockies, which, has not really been all that difficult to do this season, he could lower his ERA for the season down below 3, because right now the Rangers have 3 starters with sub 3 ERAs. That is Jacob deGrom at 2.72, that is Tyler Mahle at 1.47, and Nathan Eovaldi at 1.78. These are 3 of the best starters in baseball. And right now, Jack Leiter is really starting to find his form. And if he's your number 5 starter, that's why I think this is the best rotation in all of baseball. Now, statistically, there are a few other rotations that definitely have arguments right now in terms of ERA in the American League. They are second to the Kansas City Royals. But I'm looking across the board at these other staffs that are really good, really talented. And the Royals, don't get me wrong, they're also really good. And right now, their 5th best starter has been Cole Reagans on the season, surprisingly, even though he's got, fewer than 3 walks per 9, fewer than a homer per 9, and 14.4 strikeouts per 9. I don't really know how he's got an ERA at 4.20. But so far this season, he's been their 5th best starter. Maybe the Royals do have a little bit better rotation, but you look at the top 3 guys in their rotation. Chris Bubic has been phenomenal this season, an absolute breakout year for the lefty, the Croatian sensation, a 1.66 ERA in 9 starts. He's been awesome. And seeing him in one of those final tune-up games against the Rangers before the season started at Globe Life Field, he looked incredible. Seth Lugo has been really darn good for years, but in terms of a playoff rotation, Michael Wacha has been pretty good. Michael Lorenzen has been fine, and he's probably their actual 5th best starter. But you're looking across the board at some of these other rotations. I think the Rangers rotation just stacks up better with the top 3 of Mahle, Eovaldi, and deGrom. It is just too darn good what they're getting out of Patrick Corbin. This doesn't feel like it is found money, but it doesn't feel completely unsustainable. And Jack Leiter is only getting better. Plus, with Rocker, whenever he's on his game, he is a phenomenal starting pitcher. I think he is probably going to go to the minor leagues whenever he is fully ready to, start every fifth day yet again. I think he's got some stuff to work on. The results have been inconsistent so far in the big leagues, but there's still a lot of potential there, and I am even higher on what he can be right now than I was at the beginning of this season. I knew there'd be some clunkers, but there'd also be some gems. And the same thing I said about Jack Leiter heading into the season. And they're doing it with two of the opening day rotation members on the 60-day IL. They have not made a single start so far this year. That's Cody Bradford and John Gray. The depth in this rotation is incredible. They signed Patrick Corbin about 5 minutes before the season started. He had no spring training whatsoever, and he comes in and he's really darn good. This Rangers rotation, especially in October, I'm trusting it over any of these competing rotations. The Tigers rotation, very good. Tarek Skubal, best pitcher in baseball right now. But the Rangers just went in there and dominated the guys that were probably the second and third best starters. In Jack Flaherty, they absolutely pummeled him. In Reese Olson, they absolutely pummeled him. You look across the board and at the San Diego Padres, and so far their rotation has been one of the best in baseball so far. Michael King having a great start to the season. Nick Pivetta, a quality starter. Dylan Cease has not been, great so far this season, but still a very, very talented pitcher. But you look at, 4 and 5 in the rotation, and Randy Vasquez, he has a 3.76 ERA. I don't know how it's that high because he's got 25 walks to 18 strikeouts in 38 innings. He also has 8.5 hits per 9. He is allowing 5.9 walks per 9 and 8.5 hits per 9, and somehow his defense or something is saving him. Kyle Hart's been really bad for them as their number 5 starters to the point where they have called up Steven Kolek to make his, first couple of starts in the majors. His second start in the majors was a complete game shutout in that 21-0 drubbing of the Rockies. But in a playoff series, that's the only other top 1, 2, 3 that I think comes close to the Rangers. I mean, the Mets have probably been the best rotation in baseball so far this season and have absolutely no weak links. I think that is the one that makes me hesitant to fully say that the Rangers have the best rotation in baseball, because right now the worst starter on the Mets has a 3.10 ERA. That's Tyler McGill. They've all been healthy. They've made all of their starts so far this season. Kodai Senga is leading the National League in ERA at 1.22. Also, I have a correction for something I said earlier this week. I said that Tyler Mahle was leading baseball with his 1.47 ERA. That is not the case. He is third in Major League Baseball. Pretty sure he's not leading the American League right now, because I forgot that Max Fried has like a 1.08 ERA for the Yankees. The rest of the rotation behind him with the Yankees, not in this conversation, but the Mets have been very good so far this season. Converted closer turned starter Clay Holmes has a sub-3 ERA. Griffin Canning, who they picked up off the scrap heap, a Angels reject, and he has been fantastic at 2.36 ERA in his first 8 starts. David Peterson has a 3.05 ERA. Senga 1.22. I mean, their rotation makes me think, maybe the Rangers have the second best rotation in baseball, but there have been some other really, really good rotations as well. The Twins are finding their form. Joe Ryan's been pretty darn good this season. Bailey Ober, a little bit of a rough start, but he's been much better. Pablo Lopez, still incredible. David Festa had a good first 3 starts of the season. But you look behind that, Chris Paddock has not been great this year. Simeon Woods Richardson has been fine, but not great, to the point where there's no rotation in at least the American League that I think stacks up and is better than the Rangers in a postseason series right now. I think the way the Rangers would start it off is Jacob deGrom in a game 1, Nathan Eovaldi in a game 2, Tyler Mahle in a game 3, and then your game 4 starter, I think I'd go Patrick Corbin at this point. I know I said I think it's kind of sustainable, but in a postseason series, I think I might go a piggyback start with him and Jack Leiter, 2 incredibly different looks, a soft tossing, breaking ball heavy lefty versus a guy who chucks it up there with easy gas at 100 miles an hour. Leiter looked awesome in this game. Absolutely awesome in this game with such easy velocity, with such a good pitch mix, and he was really attacking the strike zone. Threw 89 pitches to get through his 6 innings. Maybe could have gone out there for a 7th, but he was starting to get some hard contact the 3rd time through the lineup. So the Rangers said, okay, let's turn it over to the pen because they can get this job done. And they really did. I mean, the swing and miss wasn't elite in this one, but seeing him get some more swings and misses off the 4-seam fastball has been very, very good to see. The slider wasn't quite as sharp so far today. The curveball wasn't quite as sharp as we've seen in the past, but this is a great day for his changeup. Probably the best day we've ever seen it for his changeup. He threw it 7 times. They got 5 swings, 3 swings and misses, and 1 time it was fouled off, and he also got a called strike on it. So 57% called strikes plus whiffs on that pitch. It looked incredible. He was placing it perfectly, and he was sequencing it perfectly as well. He has been learning a lot from Nathan Eovaldi of how to just attack the strike zone, how to be effective. And this Rangers starting staff has just been so darn good. I'm happy that we could finally talk about it because the offense is doing just enough, but they're having to step up without their best hitter, Corey Seager. He landed on the IL. We're going to talk about how long he's going to be out and who needs to step up the most while he's gone. All that and more right after this. This show is brought to you by Supply House. Get the supplies you need for the site that's made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for the trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Shout out to the everyday thinking Locked On Rangers, your first listen every single day. On tomorrow's show, I'll be doing a crossover with Paul Holden of Locked On Rockies, talking about this series, talking about the Rocks. I guarantee you we will talk about the Gray Wolf, John Gray, because, poor Paul. He has been very sad about his favorite pitcher's departure ever since he left those 3-4 years ago. Now, talking about this Rangers offense, what a day for Josh Jung. An incredible day, hitting third against a soft tossing lefty in Kyle Freeland. And he was the offensive star in this one, providing all 4 runs in this one. A 3-run bomb right off the jump, carrying his starting pitcher who had a little bit of a rough first inning and then allowed Jack Leiter to just settle in and go attack those hitters. Absolutely love it when starting pitchers are given a lead. They can just go at these guys and not have to nibble around, not have to try and be too precise. I think that was really, really a big part for Jack Leiter, who has been really good so far this season, going up to 2 strikes on a batter and then has in the past tried to be too fine with that 2-strike pitch. He's got incredible stuff. Just throw the stuff. It's good enough to get these hitters out and to get these hitters to swing and miss. But Josh Jung, the first 3 batters all reach base. A single for Sam Haggerty, a single for Wyatt Langford, and then bing, bang, boom, opposite field, 3-run bomb by Josh Jung. And Josh Jung said, 1 home run is not good enough for me today. I'm going to go ahead and get me a second one, driving in the final run of the game in the 8th inning. A beautiful moonshot, his 5th and 6th homers of the day. Also love seeing in the box score of Jung having to have the J-O, not just J Young, because there's a Jace Young in the big leagues now. It just reads as Young Joe, which just makes me giggle. But this offense still having issues with runners in scoring position. The only hit on the day with 8 at-bats with runners in scoring position was Josh Jung's 3-run homer in that first inning. The Rangers were able to get some runners on base, 8 hits for them on the day, 3 walks as well, only 6 strikeouts. They were doing a good job of putting the ball in play, but they just have had a lot of issues with their situational hitting. That's something that definitely needs to get fixed. It is definitely something that they need to improve on. I don't know what the processes are. Some of these hits or some of these outs are just a little bit unlucky, just a little bit of good defense being played by the Rockies, who do have some really good defenders, especially Brenton Doyle out there in center field. I mean, the Rangers have been hitting the ball incredibly hard, especially Adolis Garcia. I mean, he had a double in this one, but all of his hits were incredibly hard. The double might have been the softest hit ball for him on the day. No, excuse me. He did have a ground out of 82 miles an hour, but everything else that Adolis Garcia hit was smashed, including that double 104 miles an hour off the bat, a ground out of 105.6 miles an hour off the bat, and then a lineup with a 660 expected batting average, 106.9 miles per hour off the bat. He has been hitting the ball incredibly hard. I really think that he is about to turn a corner and start to hit the ball in the air a little bit more and start to have some classic Bombi hot streak, because the Rangers need it right now. They need it desperately because Corey Seager is going back on the IL. It is the 10-day IL, but it will be a little bit more than the 10 days. If it was up over the 10 days, then he would be back, I believe, on the 21st. Around the 21st, because it's retroactive all the way to Sunday, because that was the first time that he didn't play with this second injury. But he had been trying to battle through it. He'd been trying to just fight his way through it and manage it. He had an incredible day, his best day of the year, while fighting through pain on every single swing. He said it was getting worse with every single swing, especially in that game on Saturday where he had a pair of home runs and a double, and he was pulled late in that game for Ezekiel Duran. He heads on the 10-day IL. Kyle Higashioka is activated off of the 10-day IL. Right now, the Rangers are carrying 3 catchers. Tucker Barnhart has done a good job in his limited time here. It seems like the Rangers are intent on DHing Kyle Higashioka, or getting him and Jonah Heim both in the lineup against left-handed pitchers right now. I think that is a good idea for those two, because they have both been absolutely crushing lefties. I'm a little surprised that Higgy wasn't catching in his first game up to give a little bit more of a spell to Jonah Heim, but Heim had the day off yesterday, or the day before, so maybe that was the case right now. But everybody in this Rangers lineup is going to need to start stepping up. I mean, we'll see hopefully soon the return of Kevin Pillar. I believe it's Thursday that he is eligible to be activated off the IL. And right now he's feeling just fine. I don't think he's going to need a rehab stint at all. He's been taking batting practice. He's been swinging normal. The back issue that he had been dealing with has cleared up, and he is going to probably be back on this roster as soon as he possibly can, which gives the Rangers a little bit of a decision to make at this point in terms of their roster. I feel pretty confident that, or at least if it were me, I would be sending Sam Haggerty down. The positional versatility has been very good for Sam Haggerty. He will work a few more walks, and he's hitting 300 at this point, has yet to work a walk in limited plate appearances. He's got the positional versatility like Ezekiel Duran, but he's a little bit faster, a little bit better of a base runner, a little bit better of a defender in center field. But the pop, there is no pop in his bat, and the Rangers need some slug. I've really liked the at-bats that I've been seeing from Ezekiel Duran. Plus, Sam Haggerty doesn't play shortstop, and the Rangers will need multiple people to play shortstop. So I think that Zeke Duran should be the obvious choice to stay up. When Kevin Pillar comes back up, you'll just have Kevin Pillar out there in center field against left-handed starting pitchers, and you'll have Evan Carter out there in center field against right-handed starting pitchers. But with Corey Seager on the IL, this team has struggled to score. They still... 4 runs is good. It was enough to get the win. 3 runs was enough to get the win yesterday. It was close, but hey, 2 runs was enough to get the win yesterday. But, wins are all that matters. And the Rangers need every single win they can get, especially heading into this series against the Astros. There's not a good time to lose your best hitter, but there's an especially bad time, because it seems like Seager is going to miss this. I know he's going to miss this entire series against the Astros. He's probably going to miss the entire series against the Yankees in the Bronx, which they're a tough team. And having a left-handed hitter whose swing is perfectly tailored to hit a bunch of home runs into that short porch in right field, I still cannot believe that the Yankees, who were in desperate need of a shortstop when Corey Seager was a free agent, didn't just absolutely hand him the bag out there and make him their franchise shortstop. It made all the sense in the world. And I'm so incredibly glad that they didn't do that. But the rest of this Rangers offense is perfectly capable of stepping up. They've been having much better plate appearances throughout the tenure of new hitting coach Brett Boone. I have been very encouraged overall by what they've been doing. And there's a whole lot fewer at bats that look completely helpless. There haven't really been days where they look just completely overmatched outside of the day against Tarek Skubal, which he can make the 27 Yankees look overmatched. Actually, I think he can make, the current day Dodgers, the 2023 Braves, or the 2023 Rangers look incredibly overmatched because he is just incredible. But just the quality of these plate appearances, I would like for the Rangers to have a few more games where they bust out for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 37 runs. But hey, you just need to score enough runs to get the win, and the Rangers did that. The pen held up behind Jack Leiter. A great day for Hoby Milner. We're talking about that. And unfortunately, the Rangers could be down another reliever, and this one might be for quite some time. We'll talk about who and why right after this. Shout out to the everydayers making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. After every single game, go check out the Locked On Rangers postcast with Jeff Biggs, doing a great job being with you after all 162 games this year. Go check it out. It's on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed and on the Locked On Rangers YouTube channel as well. Now, for the second night in a row, the Rangers got a win, and the guy who they brought out there to close it out threw one pitch, just one, before being removed, giving up a hit. Both of them, Luke Jackson came in on Monday night, and was struck in the hand with a line drive. Thankfully, he avoided major injury. There was just swelling in the top of his pitching hand. Nothing was broken. Thank the Lord. Might still end up having an IL trip, but he is definitely down for today. He was down yesterday. We'll see if he is ready to go against Houston. But if not, the Rangers might have to consider an IL stint. They might also have to consider an IL stint for Chris Martin, who threw one whole pitch. Then it seemed like he said as he was leaving, he felt something pop in his elbow. It was elbow discomfort, which is never, ever, ever, ever a good sign for any pitcher, especially a 38-year-old. Martin has never had Tommy John surgery. He has never had UCL repair surgery. The only surgery that he's had was on his shoulder to repair a torn labrum back in 2007. He said it just didn't feel right and it wasn't worth pitching through it. They're probably almost certainly going to have an MRI today, and we will see exactly what happens there. But a pop and elbow tightness, just honestly the most terrifying thing that you could hear for Chris Martin, who has been the Rangers' best reliever so far this season. I mean, the Rangers just cannot afford to be without him and Luke Jackson, especially in this series. It's going to be tough, but he's confident that he's hoping that it's not anything, too bad, not anything too desperately terrible, not the dreaded words Tommy followed by the word John. I'm really, really hoping that is not the case in his elbow. But he said he had a couple of them before. He had a moment like this when he was in Atlanta. He said with Luke Jackson playing catch. He said playing long toss, and it popped and was really loud. He said he thought that was it. He thought his UCL was done, but he actually ended up throwing that night, he said. And he said, we'll figure this out. So I'm hoping that is the case. I'm hoping that we can just get a complete game shutout from Patrick Corbin. That would be the ideal in this moment, because the Rangers are down a couple of guys. They had Hoby Milner throw 2 innings. He looked fantastic in his 2 innings, worked no strikeouts, just a couple of hits allowed, including that leadoff hit in the 9th inning. His ERA for the season is down all the way to 183. Chris Martin's is down at 193. And Sean Armstrong, yet again, another Rangers reliever coming into a safe situation where they did not expect to be in that position. He comes in and he strikes out the side. He does it looking with all 3. He was absolutely dominant, and the Rangers getting him is just a blessing. Right now, the Rangers have just such depth in this bullpen right now. Jacob Webb and Luke Jackson are the only Rangers relievers who are being used consistently in leverage spots that have ERAs north of 4 right now. They got 3 different guys with sub 2 ERAs at Hobie Milner, Chris Martin, and Robert Garcia, down all the way at 1.53. Sean Armstrong lowers his season ERA all the way down to 3.06. He has got 20 strikeouts in 17 and 2/3 innings. He's walked a few more than you would like at this point, but still an ERA plus of 127. He has been very darn good. Hoping Luke Jackson will be available soon, because if the Rangers have to put him on the IL, the Rangers will make a corresponding move. And there's not a whole lot of encouraging, depth right now in the minor leagues that is going to be on the verge of coming up if the Rangers do have to make a roster move at this point. I mean, there are a few guys that are on the 40-man, and Luis Carvalho, who has been really darn good. I'm sure many have been saying, hey, why haven't you been talking about Cole Winn? Cole Winn has a 0 ERA. He has not allowed a single earned run in the minor leagues so far this year. And you're right, he hasn't. But also, he is still not striking out all that many. He is walking a bit too many as well at this point. And if he's doing that against AAA hitters, he's going to do that again against big league hitters, because big league hitters, they are better than minor league hitters. I know that you know that, but still, it's just a big difference at this point with what he has done in the minors and how that will translate to the big leagues. The other guys on the 40-man roster right now are Harrison Garabito, Mark Church, Emiliano Teodo. Those are the only ones that I think would be under consideration for getting the call up. I think Teodo is still working back on his rehab assignment. He just had an outing in the Arizona Complex League. He's not anywhere quite ready. Maybe Mark Church will be the option. I doubt that Harrison Garabito is going to be that option, because Caleb Bosley has been the Rangers' long reliever. It is the Rangers' long reliever at this point, and he's done a very good job there. Carvalho is the one that I think is most interesting because he does have a low ERA right now at this point. He's got a 2.35 ERA in 15 and third innings, striking out over 10.5 per 9, walking fewer than 3 per 9. Those are the metrics that the Rangers are very focused on. That is something that Chris Jung has emphasized as a point of what makes a pitcher good, is striking guys out and not walking guys. And that strikeout to walk ratio is very important. A 3.6 strikeout to walk ratio for him. Another guy who's right now not on the Rangers 40-man roster, but I'm surprised they made it all the way through River, because he's been pretty darn good so far this season in AAA. A guy with a 1.5 ERA. That's Daniel Robert, who came up and was mostly fine for the Rangers in the big leagues last year. He's got a 1.54 ERA in 11 and 2/3 innings, 17 strikeouts. Again, 13 strikeouts per 9 and 3 walks per 9, 4.25 strikeouts for every single walk while having a low ERA. That is something that will get you under consideration. Finally pulled up those Cole Winn numbers right now. 23 and a third innings on the season. He's been doing a very good job. 20 walks, so 7.7 strikeouts per 9, but 4.4 walks per 9, 4.4 hits per 9. So I don't quite know what to make of it. Maybe Cole Winn will end up getting a chance at some point. I'm sure he will at some point this season, but I think right now, unless it is the last thing you want to hear, which is Chris Martin undergoing Tommy John surgery, having a torn UCL, I don't see Winn being the choice right now. Personally, if I were making the decision, I think I'd go with Luis Carvalho. At this point, I'd have him up there for a little bit, because the Rangers can't afford to have a short staff bullpen in this series against the Astros. They just can't. This is too big a series. This is too important a series to go in there 2 arms down and just work through it. You might have to sacrifice a few days more on the IL than a guy would actually be hurt. Like, say, Luke Jackson, he's not going to be ready to go for 3 days. You're going to have to make a move. If he's not going to be ready for 6 days, he's going to be healthy in 6 days, but you're not going to be able to have him for those 6 days. And you don't want to have 4 days of him on the IL when he could be pitching in your big league bullpen. I think that they're going to have to make that choice of just, whatever they can do to get 26 guys on this roster that are all healthy and contributing especially against a 4-game series against your division rival at home. It is just too darn important to leave this bullpen short-staffed at the moment. There are a couple of minor league things that I want to touch on before we go today, including one of the top prospects in the Rangers system earning a promotion to Round Rock. That's right, Alejandro Ozuna is up in Round Rock, or should I say down south in Round Rock, makes the move after 31 games in Frisco so far this season. He has hit well in Double-A, and it was about time for him to get called up to Triple-A. I don't think that his big league promotion is necessarily on the horizon, but who knows? If he crushes it at Round Rock, he could be right there. Made his debut last night, worked a couple of walks in 5 plate appearances, also struck out once, did not get his first Triple-A hit just yet, but congratulations to him getting the promotion there. And I also wanted to talk about a random game that I almost went to. I almost went to the 11 a.m. game in Frisco yesterday. That was one of the wilder minor league games of the season. The Rough Riders have had some notable games so far, even in the last week. I mean, having a combined no-hitter last week, or maybe it was the week before, with Cole Drake on the mound, him throwing 6 no-hit innings en route to a Rough Riders win. This was a notable Rough Riders loss because the Rough Riders scored 14 and somehow lost by 6 runs, 20 to 14, 34 combined runs. This was an offensive bonanza. 5 home runs for the Rough Riders, including 1 apiece from Josh Hatcher, Cam Cauley, Sebastian Walcott, Abimelec Ortiz, and Aaron Zavala. Abimelec Ortiz's was his 4th of the season. Walcott's was his 3rd. Same with Cam Cauley's. Hatcher's was his 5th of the season. A multi-hit day for Sebastian Walcott. He has been fine so far this season in Frisco. He's a 19-year-old who's in Double-A. It is an aggressive assignment. He has not been absolutely crushing it, but he has done a really good job of staying patient. Had a multi-hit day in this one. Also worked a walk. He has been working more walks than I thought he would. He has been, has better swing decisions than I thought he would have. Watching him, I'm going to watch him today in the afternoon and try and get out there to Frisco sometime soon to go watch another Sebastian Walcott game out there in person. But I've loved what I've seen from him. This was just a weird one, a tough day for Misaki, who did not make it out of the first inning as the starter. A tough day for Krauth and for Ryan Lobos, who gave up 4 runs in this one. But shout out to Laura, the only one to not allow a run, the only pitcher to not allow a run. Janser Laura, a 28-year-old who threw 2 innings of shutout ball in this one, 2 perfect innings, I might add, with a couple of strikeouts, and in a game that finished 20 to 14, throwing 2 innings of shutout ball, perfect shutout ball. That is definitely worth a tip of the cap because everybody seemed to be on their game in that one. What a weird one. What a win for the Rangers last night, and hopefully a series sweep tonight. Heading into this Astros series with a 5-game winning streak would make me so incredibly happy. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank y'all so much for listening and subscribing. And until next time, don't forget to enjoy baseball.